When it comes to character design, designing a character, what do you try to capture or convey through that character or that design?
I think the most, to me, the most important part of character design is the story. Character design is just, I
Mhm.
think, another avenue to explore in storytelling. So, like, every character has a story, right? As a character designer, you have a direct impact on how people experience the story, right? Because people experience the story through the characters. And so you're able to incorporate that into the design. So I'm always thinking about, okay, what's this character's story? What's the role they play? How will they interact with other characters? If there's a script, um, that's important. I think just in general, always thinking about the story and how to take that story and put it into the character's design is like the number one thing. You need to be clear about the rules of your story from the beginning, right? If you have a world that's magical, right, and there are rules to this magic, whatever, you need to establish that early on in the story. So if you get like halfway through the story and then suddenly you introduce magic and you had no idea it was coming, it's like it doesn't work, right? And I feel like the same thing is true with character design, right? You have to, your job as a character designer is to show the audience who this character is. You design the character with a story in mind, and when people see that character, they should be able to tell what that character's role is, right? They should be able to um, see what they're supposed to see, basically, right? So, for example, if you have a character who is a villain, right? Like a classic, there's a great design. Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty is like just this super beautiful, perfect design that just is evil, right? She's just evil. That's her character. Right? She's like evil personified. And you totally can tell that, right? Just looking at the design, you're like, okay, I know exactly who she is, exactly what she represents, and what her role is in the story. I mean, characters aren't always that simple, right? Um, but if even if you have a more complicated character with a more complicated story that you have like sort of a dual nature or something, you can still allude to that. You can still give people hints as to, you know, what that character's role is and how they might turn or how they might change in the future. It's more satisfying, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing goes with storytelling. If an audience can put the clues together, right? If the setup is done right, if the design is done right and the story is done right, when the twist comes or the punchline comes, it's like this, I get it. I'm so smart, right? It's
Mhm.
like this, it's a more satisfying experience that way.